Hey, everybody, welcome back to the half hour of power. This is our third one. It's our third one. We have with us today. Hey, there you are. How are you,
Hey,
sir? Thank you for coming back. We have Mark with us. Mark
and
from
James Brolin.
and James Brolin. Mark from the Toys of Time Gone By, and James Brolin from the Kingdom of the Molten Mountain of Lust. Look at him burning up the screen there.
And
James
that sexy stash.
Yes, and that sexy stash. So here we are. We are going to talk about, dissect another Screen Rant article, which I think I love Screen Rant so much because they just they just they just do it.
They just are
And
wonderful.
this is the first for the half hour of power live stream. We are going to go back to our roots and talk about horror because that's my favorite.
Woo!
So you would think the first one that we did would have been a horror, but movie nerds actually like all kinds of movies. So, Mark, I
Yes.
have surprised you this time. I did not send you this article for you to look over.
I don't know
So
what I'm going to do.
you are going to receive this information at the same time. Of course, probably most people that watch this have probably read every single article on Screen Rant already, and they're just like love Screen Rant as much as I do. So, you ready?
Yes.
You ready? All right, let's go. We are going to do the Screen Rant article this time is. I don't know if I can. Can I? Should I do this, Mark?
I think so. You
I should.
have to do it. You
I
have to
have to
do
do it. I mean, we're already pretty far into the episode here. So
it.
okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring
You don't
this
want
one
to
up.
disappoint James Brolin.
Yeah, James Brolin might get us. Here we go. 10 horror movies that are too scary to finish according to Ranker. So, Ranker it's exactly what it says. It's a website where you can go and vote on stuff and vote on lists. So, you can go check that out. I've never looked at it, but Screen Rant has this trend now where they'll say blah 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 according to Reddit. And now I've just recently noticed the Ranker stuff. Blah 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 according to Ranker. Okay, so I mean I guess that's just regular people going and voting on stuff. So let's see what they say. You ready?
Yeah.
As you can see from the first picture, you've got it's probably going to be on there, the mini series. But
Oh,
you can tell what the other ones are. Let's
yeah.
go down here a little bit. So it is the mini series. That's right. Now you see this? You see how small this is? Look how
Yes.
tiny this is. You see that? You see how
Yes.
just little bitty that is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Essentially, sparking the scary clown phase of horror, King's story featured a wide variety of interesting characters and freaky scenes. But because so many viewers saw it when they were little bitty, teeny tiny kids, a lot of the scariest moments have stuck with fans. And that's why it's too scary to finish. I don't know. What do you think about that? I mean,
Not now. I
I
mean,
don't know. I mean,
not even the. Not, when I was a kid, clowns never scared me. Number one. So being that he's a clown and it's a TV series and I've watched it so many times. It wasn't that scary, the movie. It really honestly wasn't that. It's a great movie,
so
but it
was it
wasn't that scary.
too scary for you when you were a kid? Because that's what Screen Rant is saying. That
I don't think so.
since we watched it as children, it was
I
too
don't think
scary
so.
for us. All right.
I don't agree with that.
All right. So I mean, to me, one of the best things about it is Tim Curry.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people thought that, and they loved it so much that he was actually approached to reprise the role in the movie. And he said, "No, I'm too old, but thank you." Yeah. So, if you haven't seen this original miniseries, check it out. Um,
I do love it.
I
do love it.
I think it's on Shudder. I think. I'm not sure though. So
I got the DVD set.
I'm just trying to put a plug in for Shudder again
Yeah.
because Shudder's awesome. Are you ready to go to the next one? You see that? You see the title down there?
I see it.
The Green Inferno. Too scary to finish. See that? Okay, so this says right here, it's Eli Roth directed this, and Eli Roth. I don't think Eli Roth can direct his way out of a paper bag. I think if you saw Eli Roth in a room and you said, "There's Eli Roth. I'm going to meet Eli Roth." If you went and grabbed a giant paper bag and put it over him, he wouldn't be able to get out. He would be stuck in this giant paper bag. He just, "Come on, Eli Roth. If you write me a great script, I'll let you out of the bag." Or you could just rip your way out of the bag. I think Eli Roth would die in that paper bag. He would just be in there, and he'd never get out. I mean, I suppose we could slip food under there for him so he wouldn't die. I'd give him a bucket. But I think it'd be like this Green Inferno. And I made Jesse watch this, and I believe we did a show on Green Inferno. It is a terrible, horrible movie. It is so bad, this movie. So, Mark, if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it because –
I've never seen it.
why should you not be suffering like we did?
But this article is telling me that I won't be able to finish it because it's so scary.
Exactly. Now, let's see what this says. So, I mean, it's obviously, Cannibal Holocaust is a far superior jungle cannibal movie set in Brazil, the rainforest, the Amazon. So here we go. So while some horror movies are hard to get through due to their terrifying nature, this was not completely true for Green Inferno. People struggled to finish it due to its controversial elements, including how the movie depicted indigenous peoples and their culture. Some also struggled to get through its excessive violence and weak plot. There you go, the weak plot. I could see people turning this movie off, not because it's scary, but because it's just a bad, terrible movie. While Eli Roth has certainly made some memorable horror movies in the past, this was definitely not his best work. Thank you. So, you got a little bit of goodness right here in the sentence, acknowledging that Eli Roth, this is not his best work, but I don't agree with the other part of the sentence. Eli Roth has made 0 memorable horror movies and 0 good horror movies. Mark, you have not seen Green Inferno. Have you seen any other Eli Roth horror movies?
Probably, but not too sure.
So you have Cabin Fever.
Yes,
seen
it.
What did you think about that?
Cabin Fever actually wasn't bad. The only reason why I saw it was the kid is from the what do you call it? What's that called? Something's World. Remember that show, Boy Meets World?
Oh,
Kid
yeah,
was in
okay.
That show. Kid was in that movie.
I remember when I watched Cabin Fever the very first time, I thought, well, that's pretty good. But I'll say this. I have not seen Cabin Fever since it came out. And I've never been sitting around going, you know what? I think I want to watch Cabin Fever again. So
me either.
What does that mean? Does that mean we didn't like it as much as we thought we liked it? Or what is that?
Well, some movies you can get away with just watching it once, and then you're like, you just kind of like, there's movies that stand out that you would want to watch over and over again.
Yeah, well, like
The Exorcist.
Like your backdrop there.
Yeah.
James Brolin.
Amityville.
I didn't think that was a very good movie, but I'd watch it again. And I've seen it quite a few times, actually. Even though I don't think it's that good, but it's watchable to me. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But Cabin Fever, I don't care if I ever watch
It's
Cabin
not
Fever
for me.
again.
It's not memorable. Cabin Fever.
That might be it. Because at least in the Amityville, the performances are good. You know, I think the cast is good. I think it's got a lot of good stuff in it. It's just overall didn't come together very well. And we did. You were on that show when we talked about
Yes.
the Amityville, that movie. Yeah, we did a
Yes.
show on that. Okay, so Hereditary is the next one. You see that? Have you seen Hereditary?
Yeah. Liked it. Really liked it.
That was really good. Let's see what Screen Rant says here. So the first paragraph is usually just some kind of a intro to the movie. So let's see, what do they say here? While also making subtle statements about grief and loss, director Ari Aster delivered some of horror cinema's scariest moments, pulling its inspiration from many, many, many film sources. Hereditary builds its tension slowly until the entire thing explodes in a shower of surreal horror with a ghostly slant. What makes the film so scary is that it finds many, many ways to frighten the audience, and the viewers constantly kept guessing as to what will happen next. Wow, that was actually not a bad little thing they wrote there.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with most of that. One of the nice things about Hereditary was it was not heavy on jump scares like a lot of the movies made today are. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it had a very good story, very good plot, and it came out to be. It made you feel like it had a nice little twist to it towards the end of it. For me, it was not hard to. That's another thing.
Yeah,
I could
too
finish
scary
it
to finish.
easily. Huh? It's
Too
not
scary
too
to finish?
scary to finish. No, but
Sorry, Ranker.
it was a good movie. It was a very good movie.
It was a good one, and if you haven't seen that one, you guys should check that one out too. So we're gonna move down, and you can see what the next one is already.
All right.
Ringu, the original Japanese version.
Yes.
So we all know what that's about. Okay,
Yes.
You ready to hear about it?
Yes.
So with its unique J horror style, is that a thing? What is that? I've never seen that before. I think I thought that the first time I
Japanese
read the
horror?
article. J horror.
Japanese
What
horror.
is that? You can't just flip and write that out. You got to write J horror. What is that? What are you texting? You writing an article when you're texting? Did you text this in? Who wrote this? What is that? J horror. Dalton Norman. Thanks, bud. Thanks. J horror. Really?
Why don't you just call them all
You
horror?
You know, it's like, is that what it is? You know, this horror movie was an American-made movie, so A horror. Here's a Canadian horror movie, C horror. There's a movie from Britain, B horror. I don't
B
know.
horror.
I don't know. Okay.
Oh, you know this movie.
I got a little sidetracked there. Ringu slowly builds its creepy tension until the viewer is practically crawling in their seat with fright. This film combines its slow pace with shocking horror moments of terror. Keep the audience off balance. One of the scariest aspects of the film is the locations. They're all plain and simple. This story could happen anywhere. So, Mark, did you see the Japanese version?
I saw
original?
both versions. And
So,
I saw both versions, and they're very similar. And yes, they are. I tell you, when I did see it, I will have to say this is pretty scary. This movie,
yeah,
but
I like
not
it.
hard to finish.
Yeah, exactly. You could finish it. Sorry, Ranker. But now let's talk just a little bit. So, the remake I thought was pretty good. I thought that's a decent
It was good.
remake. Now, again, I haven't seen it for a while, but I'd watch it again. But the Japanese version is better,
Oh yes,
which usually the first version of the movie is better.
a lot of
They did-
scary elements in the Japanese version that didn't make it through to the
Yeah.
North American version.
And I thought they did a good job on it. It's got Naomi Watts and
Yeah.
Oh no, his name
Bill
is
Pullman
shameful. Yeah, Bill
was Bill,
Pullman.
and then what's her name? She was in a lot of movies, older
Oh
movies.
man, yes, absolutely. What
was her name again?
Look, well,
she was in a lot of movies
The Ring
and TV shows.
Okay, yeah. So there's Naomi Watts, Brian Cox. That's who I was trying to think of. So,
but the woman that was
Brian
in it,
Cox, Jane Alexander is in it. Amber Tamblyn. Which were you not thinking of? Amber Tamblyn?
No, the
Polly Perrette. You're thinking of her, NCIS, right?
I'm trying to.
That's her, right? That's her. Yeah, she was in NCIS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you have not seen Ring, either version, but definitely watch the Japanese version first.
7 days.
7 days. Exactly. Okay, so you see the title of the next one there that we're going to look at. Let's see if they say that again. Look at this. The Grudge.
Well, another one.
You see what they write? Proving to be one of the best Japanese horror films. Why didn't he put J horror? Why up there he writes with his unique J horror style, but down here he writes out the word Japanese. Did he figure out how to spell it? I don't get that.
Yeah, they had to edit him. That's what it was.
I don't know. Well, why didn't they make him stop? Just stop it. Just write out the word there, bud. I don't know. Proving to be one of the best Japanese horror films of all time. Now, whereas with the Ring series, I've seen all of the Japanese Ring movies. I've only seen the original Japanese Grudge, and I've seen the remake.
I've seen them both.
Yeah, so there's like how many? I don't remember how many Grudge movies are in the series.
Well, I think there's 3
Grudge.
I think there's 3 Grudge movies, and then there's a new one now that just came out.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you've got in the original run of the original Japanese movies, how many are there? Do you know?
I don't know how many Japanese, but I remember the first one.
There might be 3 in the original run. There's Ju-on.
Yeah.
Ju-on 2, and then Ju-on the Curse, which I believe the Curse is the third one. And then, is there 3 American versions?
There's the Grudge, and then there's the Grudge 2, and then I think there's the Grudges. And Grudges.
The Grudges, really? Are you serious?
I think there's one called Grudges.
Grudges. Okay. So let's see what he says here. Drawing its ghost designs from Japanese folklore. How come he wrote Japanese folklore and not J folklore? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Japanese folklore. The Grudge's terrifying spirits are quite simple yet effective. Using sound along with visuals. Really? They used sound and visuals in this? Is this a movie? It's hurting my head, Mark. It's hurting my head. The film ratchets up the terror by introducing frightening children. You know what is scary? You make a horror movie and you put little kids with black eyes in it. That's scary. Oh my God.
Yeah,
definitely. The film is so effective with its terror that even the watered down American remake is horrifying. Okay, so the real question really is that one too scary to finish?
No.
Again.
No. It's not too scary to finish. You will finish it. It's not too scary unless you're like 5. So I guess if we're 5, it might be too scary to finish.
Sorry, Ranker. There you go again. So all the regular people that voted and said it's too scary to finish these movies, I got to guess that a lot of them aren't regular horror movie viewers, because regular horror movie viewers, big horror movie fans, they're just going to watch the whole thing, really, no matter what, unless the movie is just a terrible, terrible, terrible movie. and causes them to throw up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Grudge is really good. So watch both versions again. It's always interested me to watch like the original and then watch the remake and to see what is the difference. What did they do? What did they change? Did they change anything for the better or for the worse? That type of thing. What about you?
I think that if you look at Ju-on and Ringu, you kind of find them a little bit similar.
Yeah,
you know
they are. They are in that way.
In aspects.
Let's look at the next one. We know what that is. We already previewed it there. The Conjuring.
Oh yeah.
Really? Too scary to finish?
No. Huh? No, not at all.
Okay, so here's the article that goes into it, and I wish, and maybe I don't really want this, but I wish that they would go into a little bit more detail and make a better case for it. But I mean, they are pulling this off a ranker, so I guess you don't really know why people picked it. I mean, I'll really have to look at ranker and see if there's like explanations.
I've seen all of them, all the Conjuring movies, and they are not too scary to finish.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good, solid.
And they're good
horror movies.
I could tell you they're Hollywood horror movies.
Yeah, they are. Combining elements of the ghost stories with demonic possession, The Conjuring opened the door to a whole new cinematic world of terror. While its sequels went in strange directions, the original film is down to earth with its approach and slowly builds suspense throughout, using the medium of film to showcase strange and frightening visuals. The film is a slow burn with a big payoff. Too scary to finish. Too scary to finish, Mark?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so. Look at James Brolin protecting you, looking over your shoulder.
Mr. Brolin, are they too scary to finish? He said his mustache said no.
He said no. He did. All right. Yeah, I think all three of the Conjuring movies are good. I think the first one is the best.
Yes.
Worth checking out. Whether or not, they did a good job on the translating the true stories they're based on into the movie is up to you. And whether or not the true stories are real is up to you also. But I think the movie, just watch it as a movie. I think it's good. Oh, Insidious. Now, here's one I've not seen, Mark. Have you seen Insidious?
It's the same guy.
Yes, the Conjuring movies. He did make that. Yes. So, did you see this Insidious movie?
No.
I've not seen any of these.
I didn't see it.
Okay, so
we don't know yet. We're stumped a little bit.
We can't answer whether or not they're too scary to finish for ourselves. So let's read the little bit. Variety is the name of the game when it comes to Insidious. And the movie provides a wealth of frightening ghosts throughout, not relying exclusively on one character design. The ghouls in the film are numerous and reflect certain primal fears that the audience has. Building slowly, the film's climax plunges the viewer into a terrifying world of the further for even more chills. Ugh. Okay, I've always been interested in watching those. I just haven't done it. I guess
I want to watch.
Somebody is going to have to tell us.
I want to watch Chris. I want to watch Chris Pratt in this movie. I definitely want to watch Chris Pratt in this movie.
Are you? Are you making fun of him?
No, he looks like Chris Pratt.
Are you making fun of Chris Pratt or are you making fun of him?
No, they look alike.
Yes, from that photo, they do have a certain bit of resemblance there, but that is Patrick Wilson, who is also in The Conjuring. Okay.
No relation to the Wilson brothers.
No relation. Yes. So let's go to the next one. The Descent. Have you seen The Descent?
I haven't seen this either. I think. Wait, maybe when they go down into the hole and they keep going down.
So this is that caving movie when they go caving, and
I think I did.
They go to a new cave where none of them have ever been, and they find out that people, things who were once people, live there.
I think I did see this years ago.
Okay, so this one, let's see what it says. Benefiting from its creepy use of sound, the descent is best enjoyed in silence and will surely have the audience's skin crawling throughout. It is essentially a tale of two horrors, as the first half plays on many viewers' fears of confined spaces, and the second on more primal fears of death. Okay. No, it's not too scary to finish. It is a very well-made cave horror movie, especially if you've been in caves before, not guided caves, which I have done. I have done some spelunking, as the fancy people say.
So you've been in caves.
I have been in caves. I've never seen a subterranean. What's that?
Those tight caves that people crawl into.
Yes, I have done that. I don't like it.
Oh my God!
Don't like it. But yeah, I think this was really well done. I really enjoyed the monsters in it. I've seen this one a few times. The second one, not so much. The second one, too scary to finish. It's not good. But this first one is a solid movie, worth revisiting if you haven't seen it in a while. But not too scary to finish. So I'm sorry again, Ranker. It's not too scary to finish.
I got to go back to this one.
Yeah? You got to watch it again?
I'm going to watch it again because I haven't seen it in years, and I do remember little bits and pieces. That's about it.
I can see James Brolin whispering in your ear that you need to watch it.
He's telling me.
Yes,
You have to watch this. You have to watch this.
Okay, so here we go to the next one, and that is The Exorcist.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, we've done. You were on the Exorcist show we did on the podcast, the Half Hour Power Podcast, which you can
Excellent movie.
You can find anywhere you get your podcast. You can find the Half Hour Power. I don't know. I mean, we had a hard time doing the show because it's such a good movie. So well made.
Perfect.
So let's see what they say. So here we go. Every aspect of The Exorcist is dripping with fright, from its creepy soundtrack to the horrifying visuals of a possessed little girl. Director William Friedkin's realistic style of filmmaking only helps to add to the terror as things go from bad to worse throughout, while the stories were conflated for promotional purposes. The Exorcist had viewers literally running from the theaters in terror when it was first released. Not too scary to finish.
When I was a kid, yes. Not now. For a long time, the movie was very frightening to me when I was growing up. But I can watch it now, and it's not anymore. But James Brolin said he disagrees.
I bet you James Brolin is saying our possession
is better.
Haunted house movie is better than The Exorcist. But yeah, so if you have not seen The Exorcist, you need to see The Exorcist. Especially if you're horror movies, most horror movie fans have already seen The Exorcist. Wait, I have actually met people who say they're horror movie fans who haven't seen The Exorcist. You're not a real horror movie fan if you haven't seen The Exorcist. Go see it.
You have to see it.
Turn off YouTube and go watch The Exorcist if you say you're a horror movie fan.
Click the button now.
Stop it. Go watch it. Excellent movie. Holds up today. That was truly lightning in a bottle, that movie. They will never, ever, every single movie about demonic possession is judged by The Exorcist. It is the gold standard. Fantastic.
Perfect.
Not too scary to finish. So,
not anymore.
Sorry. Not anymore. Well, yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's see what we got next, Mark. The Human Centipede. Oh, what a movie that! Have you seen it?
I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even attempt to watch this movie.
You haven't seen the Human Centipede 2?
I
Have you seen
haven't
the
even attempted
Human
it.
Centipede?
I just don't like what it's about. Number
Oh,
one,
okay.
I don't
Let's
like
look at
what it's about.
what they say. Given that this movie is banned in several countries, including the UK, for being potentially obscene and sexually violent, it's not surprising that some struggle to even go near this movie. Not only had the first movie been deemed controversial because of its excessive violence and unnecessary graphic images, but even critics struggle to review it, including Roger Ebert. It's certainly not a movie for fans. Not the kind of movie that fans will be rewatching in a hurry.
You may be right about that. Well,
Well,
I just
I have
feel
seen, there are 3 Human Centipede movies, and I've seen all 3.
I kind of feel if you want my opinion about it, I kind of feel that the person in the front is okay, but the person in the back, it's not good.
The person in the middle is in a bad way, too.
Possession
Now,
anybody that's not in the
this-
front has got it worse than everybody else.
This movie is not too scary to finish. There's nothing scary about this movie, except somebody might watch this movie and go, you know what? I want to sew somebody's lips to somebody's bunghole. I don't know. Somebody might do that now. I don't know. But
James Brolin, you
but
want
this
to do
movie,
that?
this Human Centipede sequel, it does just that. This fellow in this picture is obsessed with the Human Centipede movie. And he decides he's going to make a Human Centipede, but he's going to make a big, giant one. So he's got no medical knowledge of what at all. He's like stapling their mouths to their bungholes in it. This movie is horrible. You don't sympathize with the guy. He's had a horrible life, this character. No sympathy for him. He's just a horrible guy. This movie is not well made. The only reason you wouldn't finish it is because it's just a badly made movie. The first one's better, but it's not really a good movie either. The first one, it's not that good. It just seems like, you know how the movie started, right? You know where they got the idea.
I don't know where they get the idea.
So the director I believe the director made the joke to a friend of his that a pedophile, to really stop pedophilia, you should sew his mouth to somebody's bunghole. That's a good punishment, right? Okay, that sounds good. Oh, and then he's like, let's make that a movie. Movie didn't work that way.
No.
The third movie's even worse. It's just a terribly made movie. The third one is just really bad. The second one's really bad. The first one is watchable, but it's not that good to me. But they're not too scary to finish. So now I know that Mark, judging by what James Brolin has been whispering in his ear, he's going to watch all 3 of those.
Don't try that with James Brolin and Margot Kidder. That would be terrible.
That would be terrible. It would be. So there we go. That's our breakdown for today, for this episode. What do you think, Mark? Was there anything on there that you haven't seen that you're going to watch and see for yourself it's too scary to finish?
There's a couple of them that I will go and see. Green Inferno. But Human Centipede, I have no desire to watch it. I just don't like the fact that's what they do. Is they sew their mouths to people's butts. I don't. It's not a movie for me.
Absolutely. All right. Well, as always, Mark, thanks for being on.
And don't forget him.
That's right. Thanks for being on, James Brolin, and thanks for
having me.
being on Margot Kidder. Thank you, Amityville House, for being on. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So Mark, he runs the Toys of Time Gone By. Go over there and check him out. He's
Thank
got a good show. Check out his channel. Check out his podcast. Catch his podcast anywhere you can hear podcasts. Right?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Joe, for having me.
All right. And we'll talk to you all next time.